Phil DiCollegiero. I'm the Executive Director of the Amesbury Chamber of Commerce, and you're joining us for a every other month program that we've created with the Gould Insurance Agency next door to our office here in downtown Amesbury, where we create this business and remote breakfast and try to get different speakers, agencies, resources featured on these Zoom calls that we can then record and distribute to our membership, because there are a lot of neat programs and resources available for our business and nonprofit community here in Amesbury. Today we're joined by Keiko Orrall, Executive Director of the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism, as well as our partner in organizing this program, Matt Sherrill of Gould Insurance Agency. And so, as I mentioned, this program features professionals in fields that we think can help lift up our business community, and our partnership with Gould helps distribute the material to our broader membership and business community here in Amesbury. So Matt, thank you for doing this with us.
No problem, Phil. Thank you for offering that opportunity to me. You know, I've been a long-term board member of the Chamber of Commerce. I got involved with the Amesbury Chamber in 1984, and believe it or not, they keep making me hang around. I used to be the young guy in the room, and now I'm the old guy in the room with all the institutional knowledge. So I think that's part of why they keep me around. But no, we're thrilled to be able to sponsor these series. You know, some people ask me, what do you get out of the Chamber of Commerce? And my answer to them is, you get whatever you want to get out of the Chamber of Commerce. If you get involved, if you put the effort forward to go to the ribbon cuttings, to go to these type of business meetings that we're having now, you get a lot out of the Chamber of Commerce. So just get involved. That's all I can say. And, you know, Gould Insurance has been involved for a long, long time, and we're very happy to be able to present this series to everyone, and looking forward to hearing what Keiko has to say.
Thank you, Matt. And so, yes, we have Keiko Orrall. She is the Executive Director of the Massachusetts Office of Travel and Tourism. We have some exciting things planned later in the season with that office, and we're fortunate to be, you know, able to partner with them in our state delegation that's joined us today, State Representative Jim Kelcourse, as well as State Senator Diana DiZoglio. But really, our featured speaker is Keiko. And Keiko, you've been really patient, and I really do appreciate you joining us today, all the way from Lakeville, but remotely. And so thank you for joining us here in Amesbury.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Phil, for the invitation to be here. This is a unique forum where I enjoy getting to hear from around the table the different things that are happening in Amesbury. And thank you, Matt, for sponsoring the event. As some of the banter prior to the meeting meant, some of you were on, some of you were not. I'm a former legislator, so I've served with Senator DiZoglio and Representative Kelcourse in the legislature, and that has given me a unique background to come into this state agency, this important industry, and to really make the connections that we need, especially during a pandemic, for a strong recovery. So with that, I will turn my screen into a PowerPoint, and I'm going to run through a couple of slides and leave some time for some question and answer. As you may notice, my background is a beautiful cranberry bog. I'm coming to you from Plymouth County. I live in Lakeville, Massachusetts, and while this is a seasonal activity, the cranberry bog is red in October. Part of my job is to entice the Massachusetts residents to explore all the different parts of Massachusetts. So if you have not seen a cranberry bog during harvest season, I encourage you to venture out. And likewise, when I am presenting in Plymouth County, I typically have different slides of other parts of the Commonwealth to say, please go out and explore. Our main mission is we're the marketing arm of the Commonwealth. We encourage domestic and international travelers to explore Massachusetts as part of our great nation, and as part of continuing to grow the Commonwealth's economy. Our key collaborators are our regional tourism councils. As Anne Marie mentioned, north of Boston is one of our 16 regional tourism councils. They're our main strong key collaborator. We also collaborate with the other organizations that are listed on As far as state tourism groups, we work with Mass Cultural, we work with Massport, Mass Convention Authority, we work with groups like Mass Lodging and Mass Restaurant Association. And then in state government, we work with, of course, the Joint Committee on Tourism, Arts, and Culture. We work with DCR, we work with Mass Department of Ag Resources. And I'm going over these lists just to give you the breadth of what tourism covers. I'm going to move quickly through. I know many of you are familiar with our agency, but part of my tour and going around the state is helping people understand what your tax dollars are going for as far as an agency. And so this is just a quick overview, and I'm going to go into what our campaigns are doing. Nationally, we work with the U.S. Travel Association. I'm part of the National Council of State Tourism Directors. Internationally, regionally, regionally, we work with Discover New England, which is a partnership with Vermont, Connecticut, Maine, New Hampshire. We're hoping for Vermont, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Maine, Rhode Island, New Hampshire. 5 of us. We work together. We're hoping that Vermont will join us. And we also work with our innkeepers, Museum Association, Bus Association. We work with all of these types of regional groups to say that New England is a strong destination. And then internationally, we work with our partners in Brand USA, which is the nation's destination marketing organization. We work with the Consular Corps. There are over 60 foreign nations that are represented in Boston. And we work with the Consular Corps to help them understand the opportunities within Massachusetts. And we also work with the World Tourism Organization. Our visitor numbers, historically, 2019, this is pre-pandemic, we were just under 30 million domestic visitors. We ranked 20th among the US states. We had 1.8 million visitors from overseas, and we consistently rank 16th, which is great in domestic and international traveler spending. Of course, there's room to grow, and that's our job. That's our job collectively to help our state move forward. Over $24.9 billion was spent, and over $1.6 billion in state and local taxes was collected. Preliminary estimates for this past calendar year, of course, are not that great, but what I see within the industry is a resilience, and I see that it's not just the tourism industry. We see light at the end of the tunnel. We see that there is a new direction for our state, and so we're going to keep pushing forward. These are some of the traveling numbers from Logan. Of course, you see the steep drop. It's going to be a while before things return to normal, and international travelers are coming in and out of Massachusetts. Again, the mood, I think, is hopeful, but the numbers are staggering as far as the travel impact. Recovery efforts within the Baker-Polito administration have extended to business relief, small business relief with Mass Growth Capital Corporation, the Cultural Organization Economic Recovery Grant Program. We have some local recovery planning grants. Many of the cities and towns around you and Amesbury itself have taken part of many of these different grant programs. Regional grant program, and then of course we have the federal PPP and shuttered venue operators. The Restaurant Revitalization Fund was just recently opened as well. As I mentioned, you're part of the 16, we have 16 regional tourism councils. Those are set in statute. And we have each one promoting their unique region. And then we as a state agency are like the umbrella that does the statewide or statewide promotion. We have $6 million typically to work with annually for marketing with these groups, and that's a competitive program. North of Boston consistently is in the top tier as far as competitive marketing programs. One of the things that we are doing uniquely after the pandemic is travel and tourism marketing recovery grants. And this is a new pilot program where we're using funding from the Tourism Trust Fund to push money out to local communities to help them with their marketing efforts, including website development, optimization, brand development, digital advertising, B-roll, photography. Those types of things aren't usually covered in typical grants. Our Secretary Keneally, throughout the pandemic, has conducted calls on every other Friday just to update people about what's happening in economic recovery. And what we heard consistently was, could we have some money for some marketing efforts? We need customers to come back. Through this process and through this pandemic, we have seen partnerships like none other, in that we are a group that our agency typically works with our regional tourism councils. And I'm getting a little bit of a, excuse me.
If I can just, I'll jump in and say that the marketing grant partnership specifically, Keiko, with our chamber has been helpful. And that's an example of a small program that's going to have, I think, a big punch locally, where he worked with us and our state delegation with Senator DeZagrio and Rep. Telcourse to get some dollars for our local restaurants to do an enhanced advertising campaign. So in fact, actually right now next door to our office is Flatbreads, and our videographer is over there shooting a commercial for that restaurant that was made possible through one of these grants you awarded us several weeks ago. So it is pretty cool, and it is a good reminder though that, you know, just little dollars, and I mean relatively small dollars compared to that overall budget, can make a big splash in communities like Amesbury, where I think our grant total was about $10,000, and it allowed us to do commercials for several of our local restaurants to help generate more foot traffic here in our downtown. Thank you.
Right, and it's that type of partnership that I think is going to help our state get back. We're seeing the chambers work with the regional tourism councils, work with the economic development folks, the main streets. There are all of these different people who are now, at least seemingly, we have a forum to communicate and to work together. So that has been something that we're happy to see as a benefit from our agency reaching out to the communities. Another grant program that is currently underway is the Destination Development Capital Grants. That's a new program. It's a pilot program. It's geared towards destination development. And we want to make sure that our resources are sustainable, that they have the infrastructure money that they need to make improvements as far as any repairs, renovations, parking solutions, ADA accessibility, restroom facility, even into garbage management solutions. Those types of things, again, not typically covered with grant money, but we have seen in some of our research that destination development is really, it's an important part of making sure that everything stays on track. We have 3 different levels that those applications are due next week. We, as an agency, are charged with statewide marketing. We use our digital channels, VisitMA.com. I want to just have everyone on the call that's just aware that we have a free advertising opportunity within VisitMA for businesses that are associated with travel and tourism. And that would be restaurants, attractions, hotels. If you're not linked in, please have your businesses open up a free account. It takes a couple of minutes. It really is very easy. On the homepage, go to the bottom, want to be featured here, click and create an account. You can manage your own photos, and that's really something that's unique. It's not a mass.gov website. So one of the other things that we do, we use, of course, the social media channels, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're asking people to go and like our page, follow us on Twitter and Instagram, and we will follow you. We're trying to get the message out that we are a strong team here in Massachusetts promoting and supporting our hospitality industry, and that tourism really matters. I know that Anne Marie has used that phrase in north of Boston. It matters. It matters more than ever in this recovery effort. We have seasonal and regional promotions. This is just a short example, a small example of what we offer. Our newest is the Historic Women Trailblazers. We have a digital booklet that features over 70 historic women. It has a tour, places where you can find out more about each one of these amazing women. It was created during to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the women's right to vote. So please check that out at visitma.com. The Office of Travel and Tourism has oversight over the Mass Film Office. It's a state agency dedicated to promoting the Commonwealth for film and television. Little Women was a recent film that had great success and was filmed in Massachusetts. We're very active. Currently, we have productions with Amazon, Showtime, HBO, Disney. So we are very active in the Mass Film Office.
Hey, so for communities like Amesbury, so that you cover the entire state, but for smaller towns and cities that may think, well, gee, we could be a neat setting for something in film. How do we tap into that? I'm sorry to interrupt. I just, because there's so many different ways that we could be going on. So I'm trying
Absolutely.
to slides, and
Absolutely.
that's an interesting. I mean, we don't talk often about film up here, but I know that there was a point where like the tax credit was a big topic, and that's intriguing, and we are seeing a lot more activity statewide. How do local communities take advantage of those opportunities?
It continues to be that the tax credit continues to be discussed, but we are a destination for many feature productions. And to get involved, you would send an email to my office indicating your interest, and then we would pass that information along. The director is Lisa Strout. It's a small department, but we do have a head of locations, and I think it's just being aware of the resources that are in Amesbury and things that could be featured, so that when we're talking to the producers, we can say, oh, we know the perfect place. Just so that's the connection. It's ultimately up to the directors and the production. So we make the connections. But another thing that we're really proud of within the Mass Film Office is a diversity initiative where we're making an intentional effort to communities of color and to minority communities to talk about the film and TV industry, and to provide a series of opportunities to talk about what's involved in creating a film, from set design to hair and makeup. And so that's something that has been ongoing, and we continue to move forward with that. We also have oversight with sports, and so we're hoping for a great sports comeback. We have the Laver Tennis Cup scheduled for TD Garden in September. Worldwide Wrestling Entertainment at TD Garden. There's a new opportunity with college football at Fenway, and in December, and then we have the PGA returning to the Northern Trust. And as far as on the horizon, we're hoping that we're working with the Men's Frozen Four, US Open, and we're hoping for the World Cup soccer game, as Boston remains one of the bid cities for 2026. So our efforts with the pandemic shifted to, so typically we're working to get dollars from outside of the state, our regional neighbors, Connecticut, New York, New Hampshire, Maine, down the eastern seaboard, where we're trying to get them to come to Massachusetts to spend their money, to explore our great state. We also work to get international visitors. With the pandemic, that changed. And we said we need to move in a different direction. And we launched a statewide local campaign at the beginning of September, end of August. And it was really about helping people understand the importance of their decisions as they're purchasing things. It's so easy, and we all do it. We're sitting on our couches and we're ordering online, and that, you know, that has a place. But it's also so important to understand shopping, eating, and traveling, staying local. And our tagline for this campaign is "Put your money where your heart is," right here in Massachusetts. This campaign just underscores what a small business is, asking people to pause and think. We're creating a movement of people that understand how much each one of these small businesses in Amesbury, each one of those things matter, and how what we can do to get our economy rolling again. We encouraged people to explore their own backyard, explore their state, and to really support their friends and neighbors. We've had a successful campaign thus far. We're continuing to roll through September. We've had 107 million impressions, even more. We've filmed in Amesbury. We did part of our commercial there at 18 Friend Street. And we're continuing to partner with folks like Logan and the Red Sox and getting the message out. It's not a hard campaign to understand. And many of the communities that I've presented in, many of them already have ongoing local campaigns, buy local campaigns. This is a statewide effort to say that our local small businesses matter. And this is some of our print creative. Show Main Street some love is one of our taglines. Local is more than a place, it's who we are. We've had digital ads running. We have a Toolkit with banners. And this is the commercial break where I wanted to highlight our commercial. It's just 30 seconds. Upbeat, positive, we're pulling together. We understand the importance of local. That's the message of this campaign. Our website for this part of our campaign is lovemylocalma.com. So there are two websites I want you to check out, VisitMA.com and lovemylocalma.com. On that site, lovemylocalma.com, you can share your story. I hope that you'll check that out. It's a very short type of answer thing where you can have your businesses featured there. I mentioned the toolkit, lovemylocalma.com. What will you find there? You'll find ready-to-use resources that you can grab and go. And you'll also find make it your own section where if you have the software, you have the creative ability, you can customize some of the resources. Many people are like, I get it. I think this is great. This is a great campaign. I don't really know what to do. Well, you can help out by posting on social media. You can, this is some examples of social media posts. Our economy runs on small businesses. Proud to be part of the hashtag MyLocalMA movement. We're asking people to use the hashtag MyLocalMA. Short slogans, you've seen them. And this is an example of some of the creative that has been seen and heard. And then from Western Massachusetts, we had an idea. Again, many of these communities are doing local by local campaigns. We're just asking, we're supporting that effort. And this is just a pledge to support local businesses. We are getting ready to launch a restaurant marketing campaign as part of the MyLocalMA campaign. And we're anticipating the launch May 27th. It will run through the fall of 2021. And we're going to continue to focus on our small businesses. Phil, I am so sorry. Do you see? I have trouble talking even without a mask. So you can imagine. I am sorry for that scratchy throat. Must be my allergies or something.
Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
So for more information, please contact us for film locations, anything with film sports. This is our contact information. I'm going to stop share. I'm going to open up the floor for some questions. And I hope that gives you an overview of what our agency, what we're tasked with, what our mission is, and if you can think of ways to connect. The takeaways are your businesses in Amesbury signed up at VisitMA? If you go right now, people are bored on the webinar. If you go to VisitMA and you check out, oh no, Buddy's Pizza isn't listed. We should talk and let's get him listed, or whoever you find that is not listed, please have them be a part of our website. And the more folks that are participating, the better it is, and the global stage that they're represented on the global stage. The other piece is to take away that the businesses can be featured. Love MyLocalma.com. You can tell your story. And I want to, again, just thank Phil for making this connection, because this is what's going to help bring our economy back. We are hopeful. There are restrictions that are being lifted weekly. And so we're excited about the summer ahead.
I mean, I say that I love seeing a 30-second commercial where one of our own Amesbury business owners are prominently featured with her store over on 18 Front Street. You guys cover a lot at MOTT, and so I jumped into the film, and I'll offer a follow-up or ask a follow-up. So I asked about how does Amesbury get on your radar, but can individual business owners get on your radar as well, you know, and provide information about their space for why they might be a worthy setting for a possible movie or TV show when it comes to the filming program that Massachusetts supports through your agency?
I would encourage them. I mean, it's all about communication. We talked about that earlier, relationships. I think that if you're able, you have the relationships with the business owners. And so if you're able to put together a one sheet that we would be able to have on record, so that it's easy for us to understand, oh, they have 3 locations, one is on the ocean, or one has water, or one has whatever amazing feature that would be interesting. That would be helpful. Because as an agency, you can imagine we're limited with our time, and as I said, we're a small department, and so anything you can do to streamline that is much appreciated.
I appreciate that clarification. So that's
so if you think of great, so for instance, in the down in my area, there were some abandoned buildings, and we. That was a location that they were interested in for shooting. So it doesn't just have to be the beautiful places. It's also just some of the unique areas that might be interesting. And it's making the connection with our head of locations, so that in the event that he's stuck and Disney wants I don't know, an abandoned factory, you're like, oh, I know just the place, or something like that. It's the connections and relationships.
So this is open to any guests that are on the call, any of our business owners. I know we have some people from certain local Amesbury industries that are very much tied to tourism. We have hotels present. We have a future hockey rink present. And Spy Mike Corman rejoined us from Maples Crossing. I mean, I don't want anyone to feel like they can't just jump in, because you certainly can jump in, and I'm sure many of you have questions that I haven't even considered. So
Well, Phil, thanks for having me, and I appreciate the opportunity to listen to this. It's really helpful and extremely informative. One thing I would, I'm going to send you a quick email on is hopefully the Commonwealth can join the U.S. Sports Travel Association. It's a really valuable tool to have outreach and connection to not just trends and flow of business, but it also throws, it's basically an umbrella organization for future events one can vie for. So the state could be privy, and it's not the big time events you rattled off. Those are different stratosphere. I'm talking about smaller events, but smaller events that attract tens of thousands of people. And, they're from the full spectrum of any sport you can think of. I'd love to, hopefully have the state's support for things like that, and working with the community and yourself on those kind of outreaches, I think could be helpful. Thank you.
Michael, that is a great point. We're not just the stratosphere sports events. We do try to support the smaller events and understand the impact of those 10,000 visitors or even 5,000 visitors to a community for different events. The primary means of communication with our state agency is email. We are working remotely. We do travel occasionally, or we're working periodically out of Boston, but email is great. If you, again, provide the one sheet with the bullets of, making it as easy as possible to understand what your request is. We don't have a dedicated sports person at the moment, but we are, we have that interest, and we're working to support that.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question. I'm just so excited to thank Phil and Matt for making this happen. Keiko, you just were a plethora of information for me, and I'm so excited to share those websites with the local small businesses. Amesbury is just such a moving and shaking, happening place to be. I just invited friends up from Alabama to spend some time with me and take advantage of walking around Amesbury and enjoying everything that it has to offer. Going way back, I remember when Amesbury was a ghost town, and now, at that time, everybody was so excited about Newburyport. So now it's just really wonderful to see all the hard work people have done behind the scenes to make Amesbury what it is. And Phil and everybody on here is just such a cheerleader for our wonderful little city. So thank you so much. I learned so much today. Well, one question I do have is, could you share that slide with me with the hashtags on it for the, what was it?
Love My Local.
Yes, thank you.
Love My Local MA. It's very easy. Hashtag MyLocalMA. MyLocalMA. It's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And she mentioned she was going to share it with her friends. Oh, share the website information with your small businesses. We're going to be running this restaurant campaign starting at the end of May. It will drive traffic to VisitMA. What I forgot to tell you was the amazing contest that we have. The amazing contest that's going to talk about the state of wonder and this amazing state that we have. It's a photo contest where you can win a package, a vacation package from across the state. We have 9 different packages. We're going to do 3 a month throughout the summer. So what does that mean? That means people submitting photos like the one behind me. What is your state of wonder? Where do you find amazing peace and joy? And for me, it's a cranberry bog in bloom. So that's where we're encouraging people to visit our website, VisitMA. That's going to get people inspired. That's going to help people plan their trip. That's going to help them understand all the resources around Amesbury and north of Boston, and what else can I do when I come to your region. So please at least get all your restaurants on board, because traffic is going to be coming to our
I mean, those are a huge driver to the people that come from outside of Amesbury to our downtown as our pretty vibrant, unique restaurant scene. Is it possible to take the slide, and anyone who's watched the video and made it to this point, they've seen the slideshow, but is it possible to also get a link to the slideshow that you used, or the PowerPoint that you used for this program, Keiko? And
Absolutely.
we can not just, obviously the video, anybody who's watching this right now will have access to the video, of course, but we can also have the link to that slideshow available. So for anybody who wants to go back and reference material, they don't have to scroll through this video per se, but they can go back just to the link and save that info, because there is a plethora of information that you gave to us. But the hashtag MyLocalMA is a big one, and you're using that on Instagram. We try to use it on Instagram as well, as a chamber, but also as well as Facebook. Not as much on Twitter and LinkedIn. I don't think I've used the hashtag on LinkedIn yet, that's for sure, but very cool.
Yeah, and it's as more people are using it, the bigger it grows. The whole point is we follow you, you follow us, we grow stronger together. So it's not that difficult, and everyone understands the importance of our small businesses. So I will definitely make sure that the PowerPoint is pushed over your way.
I have one more general follow-up question. So we have a lot of restaurants. You've done a lot at MOTT to help support our restaurants locally and across the state. Obviously, we're talking about this contest. What about the hospitality industry overall, hotels? Because in our region, some of our surrounding communities don't necessarily have hotels, whereas we have several. Obviously, we have Catherine Carlson from the Fairfield Inn on this call today. That's located in Amesbury. Are there conversations that you're having about how that specific industry, which is integral, right? Because if we're trying to get people to come here, they need places to stay. So we need those places where they could stay to be supported during this time when there might not be as many overnight guests, because our hope is overnight guest return, right? So are there any strategies or feedback that you have on how that industry can be further supported?
So we have the traveling recovery grants, the marketing grants. One of those was issued to the Mass Lodging Association. So I know that organization is focused specifically on hotels. We are also very keenly aware of that the inns and bed and breakfasts and other smaller lodging entities are really struggling. And we are working to encourage those people to partner with our agency, with our campaign, to get a benefit from some of the attention that's being paid to restaurants. Because you want to go out to a restaurant, you want to stay overnight, you want to explore. So that's part of the tie-in with the whole site of VisitMA, because it's not just restaurants, it's hotels, it's attractions, it's what else do you do when you come to Massachusetts. Anne Marie has been a champion for North of Boston, and the North of Boston package that is being offered as far as this photo campaign is phenomenal. And we're seeing that across the state, where our regional tourism councils are really understanding that as we work together, yes, we're competitors. North of Boston's not as good as south of Boston. Not north of Boston is great. We love them all. Cape Cod, Berkshires, we love them all. But so typically we're in friendly competition. But through the pandemic, we've seen, no, it's all good. It's all good. We're sharing ideas, and that's how we're gonna get better. And then maybe at some point we'll get back to the friendly. We'll get back to. But no, it's really been good to see that people are working together. So we're encouraging our hotels to continue to partner with us, and we're keenly aware of the impact.
If I could just interject one thing with a direct to let you know what North of Boston is doing to support our lodging properties. We have a very exciting campaign going on with Expedia. When we have a landing page with all of our North of Boston properties on it on expedia.com, hotels.com. It's running from April through July. And I just got the stats from April, and this campaign has helped to book over 2,000 room nights in just April with a return on investment of $89,000. So, and we're continuing to run it. We've got ads pushing people to that site. It's a landing page specifically all about north of Boston, and it also has a lot of destination things on it, where to eat, what to do. So it links back to northofboston.org. So very committed to getting heads in beds and getting that tax revenue back to the pre-pandemic and beyond levels, because our cities and towns depend on it. So thank you.
Thanks,
I
Amber.
I just had one really quick question, and it's probably too soon to anticipate, but it may be more of a question for Anne Marie regarding the trade associations, those trade shows that were, a big part of getting the word out. I'm sure there isn't anything scheduled for this year. Does it show hopeful that we'll start getting back into those kind of trade shows or some kind of variation of those for 2022?
Yes, the answer to that is yes. And we are attending everything that we can attend virtually. My sales coordinator is she has scheduled virtual appointments for the American Bus Association and their different segments. So we have not retracted any of our commitment to these shows and these industry segments. Obviously, something like, IPW, the US Travel Association, it's actually happening this year in Vegas, but I'm not certain if it's not something that north of Boston will be doing this particular year because of the restrictions on international travel and the value of that particular show at this time. It's very expensive, and it's something that we felt we could reallocate some funding this year, but we will be back to IPW in 2022. When I put together my FY22 budget, all of these shows will be put in it. We've already registered and are going to Discover New England next May. That's when it's
I was going to ask about that one. That one I'm very much interested in and want to be sure that
we're in it. Yep. And we're taking a lot of different meeting planner, virtual events that they're having.
Yeah.
We're getting back involved. We are very involved with the New England Society of CVBs. So we do a lot of things jointly with our partners to try and defray costs right now, because we're just trying to be strategic about where we put our funds. But the long and short of it is, yes, we're back on board as soon as these shows and we can be safe and we can be together. And that, these shows are valuable, worthwhile, and we're going to get good participation and worth our money. We're there.
great. Thanks.
And Catherine, as far as business meetings and that type of event, we, as the restrictions continue to be lifted, as people continue to be vaccinated, the importance is consumer confidence and just really feeling safe to be out and about. And again, we're hopeful. I think that everybody is ready to be done. We're done.
Same over here.
And but I think it's going to look different, and people are going to offer hybrid events, and so as people are looking forward, that's what they're planning for, just because it is easier to involve more people, to have an even broader reach by providing some type of hybrid.
True. Good. Well, I'm looking forward to being with you all. So it's going to be a great year and leading up to next year. So, and we've seen the uptick up here as far as business travel, more projects that are taking place up here, buildings, renovations. So, and of course the beach traffic is coming in, but my hope is to try and steer some of our customers to explore Amesbury, and when they have their time off, have dinner in town. So trying to do my little part, but it's slow, but it's growing, and it's really quick. Like yesterday we were at 43% at the beginning of the day, we ended up at 62% last night. So that was a big jump for one day. And we're hoping that, we'd like to see it, maybe see it a little bit more, but it's nice to see that kind of jump. And, you know, maybe it's a little bit too short of a big jump, but we'll take whatever we can get.
And on a Tuesday night too,
Or
right?
Tuesday night, yeah.
Phil, I just wanted to mention that if this is the connection to travel and tourism for you, travel, tourism, film, sports, and we're the state agency, we work for you. So if you see things that we're missing or that we can be a part of, please reach out via email. And if you find resources that are missing on lovemylocalma.com, or, ooh, I wish they had this or that. I know that Joe is in the creative industry. If you see something that we can do to improve, we work for you. So please reach out and share that information. We can't promise that we could do everything, but it's certainly a learning opportunity. And again, I just thank you for this opportunity to be with you this morning.
Likewise, Keiko, and I think that with that, we can wrap up this program, and your contact info has been on this call. So people who want to reach out to you to offer that type of feedback or learn more about some of the programs, they can connect with you. I think that in a few weeks, we should be having you up to finally visit in Amesbury, not so early, so you won't have to jump on the highway at 5 a.m. to come from Lakeville. But we're looking forward to a pretty exciting summer that is in part due to the generosity and support we're getting from MOTT. So thank you, and thank you to our partners over at Gould Insurance. Matt, Cheryl, thank you for helping to make this program possible, and to everyone for joining the call today. We're glad to have your feedback and your interest in this topic. So here's hoping for an exciting 2021 summer season.
Thank you, Madam Director.
Thank you.
You.
See you
Have a
as
great
always.
day. Thank